It's people that didn't understand the science for real. You know what I mean? But anyways, as you can see, I have Ezekiel's will in behind. And the reason why I decided to put that in there is because when you're talking about Ezekiel, he was banished, he was isolated. And at the time he was praying for a sign from the Most High. And the Most High gave him a vision. And in that vision, he saw this will. You know what I mean? And this will was attached to the throne of the Most High. And what he called was cherubim that he saw that looked human, that had a human head, an ox, a lion, and I think an eagle. And those were the cherubim, and they had wings. And I feel like that those could be any animals, and it's all interchangeable. You know what I mean? But that's exactly why when you see certain netzers or the netzeru, they have heads of certain animals, but they have bodies of humans. You understand? Because they're depicting cherubim. You understand? That's what that was their version of cherubim. But in the Bible, this is how they depicted it. They had 4 heads of animals and human, and they had wings. That's how Ezekiel saw it. That was his vision. And his vision made it to the Bible, didn't it? So that's what I'm saying. Like, when we look at our ancient Kemetic practices and we see deities with heads of animals, bodies of humans, that's not demons. That's not no spooky shit. That's them interpreting what they envision as spirituality too. That was them seeing the Most High in all things. They wasn't worshiping it. They were venerating it. Its contribution to the whole. You understand? Just like if you see the scarab beetle, the bee, it's so many other insects and animals that contribute to the whole that our ancient ancestors understood. And they wasn't worshiping them. They was venerating them for their contribution. That's a big difference. But when you're trying to teach that to people who don't know nothing, they just think you worshiping them. You understand? Because they don't understand. But anyway, like I said, this is the shadow of Ra. And in order for you to really shine the brightest, you have to keep your shadow in check. You have to understand what's in that shadow. Like, in order for a lot of us chosen ones to really come up in the world, a lot of it is through strife, through pain. You know what I mean? We turn pain into poetry. That's what makes you a true alchemist. You know what I mean? Our culture is our currency. You know what I mean? We turn lemons to lemonade. We turn fucking things that are given to us that are deplorable. We turn that shit into a lifestyle and make the shit cool. You understand? Look at what we did with hip hop. We took being in the ghettos of America with nothing but poverty and crack. You understand? And we took that and somehow we came up with a whole new style, new form, a new gospel. That's what hip hop was, a new gospel. Only God's people can come up with something called hip hop that transforms the whole fucking world. So when anybody says American black people ain't got culture, you just tell them all we needed was hip hop. We created that and all y'all niggas follow that shit. Period. That's all. You know what I mean? That just goes to show you how special we are as a people. But anyways, in your day of judgment, you're going to have your heart weighed on this scale. And I suggest you start practicing before you go to bed. Those negative confessions on your prayers, staying on top of your game when it comes to that. Because the Most High sees all. Those things that you feel like you hiding in the dark and all that type of shit you getting away with. Anubis is on the job. To some people, he's the Grim Reaper. To some people, he might even be your devil. He might be your boogeyman. Because if you ain't living righteous and you got some shit in the dark that you ain't dealt with yet, he's gonna make sure that you face that. So it's better late than never, and it's better earlier than late. You feel me? So like I said, you got to keep the ritual and spirituality. You got to keep the ritual. You understand? And that's what the whole practice of having the idols that we see carved on the walls and all of that type of stuff. It's not about worshiping them. It's about the veneration, the symbology. It's more to it than what y'all think. You know what I mean? And like I said, I have the eye to interpret these things, and I'm trying to disseminate it in a way that we all can grow from. You know what I mean? Because we too busy like labeling things evil because we don't understand it. And because we've been taught that black is no good. Anything black, no good. That's what we've been taught. And that's so far from the truth. Like soil is black. And when we plant the seeds for things to grow, that's black. When you look in the sky at night, that's black. Like it's so many good things that come from the darkness. Put it like this. In order for light to even be born, it had to be in darkness first. It had to be germinated. It had to have a gestation period before light can even spark. That all happened in the dark. The underworld is the unseen world. You feel me? So he's the guardian of that. And the veil is starting to get very thin. So when it comes to these jokers that's playing in the dark, thinking that they getting away with evil shit, you know what I'm saying? They think they the big bad motherfucker doing shit behind your back, gossiping. That's spell work. If a motherfucker can't face you and say what they need to say to your face, then they cowards. They're not even worth your time. You feel me? So it's like, them the people, they got to get right with God now. Because I'm telling you right now, I already got the word of ancestors is on niggas' necks. I'm talking Sekhmet, Heru, fucking Anubis, Oya. Like, all of my ancestors is on, they on 10 right now. They on high. And they letting it be known, like, all that sucker shit, finito. And this is who you're going to go see when it's all said and done. Anubis is going to enforce justice for my eye. Because like I said, what we do? We balancing the scales. That's what we doing. And let's say your heart is heavier than the feather. That means you in purgatory. That means you're going to suffer until the next reincarnation cycle. That's if you even get one. Because they got some other animal that actually swallows your heart when your shit don't make the cut. You understand? And I'm going to get more into that on another breakdown. But I just wanted to just to show you Anubis in his glory. You see how serious he is? See, people, they be trying to make a mockery of spirituality, like we just kumbaya and we just turn the other cheek, hugging trees and crystal magic and stuff like that. Like, nah, this is serious business. You don't get to make a mockery of that type of shit. You got to understand what you're dealing with. You see how serious he is? That's what I'm talking about. This is not for play. So, like I said, man, sleep is a cousin of death. So, as a practice, learn your laws of Ma'at, learn the 42 negative confessions, and you'll see how they correlate with the 10 commandments. And you see how it's more about accountability than it is about fear-mongering you into not doing something so you won't go to hell. Because the reality is, it's all about perspective. Perspective is key, because people can look at earth as hell. People can see earth as the duat, as the underworld. You feel me? It's levels to everything. But guess what? It's a guardian at the gate of every dimension too. And like I said, this is the shadow of Ra. So as much as I'm Ra and I'm all light and in love, there's a shadow to me too. There's a shadow to everybody.